Crossing Streamz, number 5. Sean
Five,
here.
five, five.
5, this many. Sean here. Anthony there.
I'm over here. I'm over here, Sean, just in case you were checking.
There you are, coming to a town near you.
That's right.
So, Days of Thunder.
Days
Days
of Thunder.
Oh wait, that's Blades of Steel.
Yeah, it is.
Man.
Blades of Steel.
Blades of Steel.
Man, you just took me back. Jeez.
Man.
I don't appreciate that.
So,
Made me feel old.
so Days of Thunder, this week's movie. Before we get into that, I want to ask you, and you're not even ready for this. Did you watch any new movies this weekend or this week at all?
This weekend. You know what? I did. I'm actually not done with it. I've been really busy, so I've been watching it in spurts. I've been watching Copland. Have you ever seen that? It's with Sylvester Stallone. No, Sylvester Stallone.
Oh, I'm thinking of Homeland.
Robert,
no, I'm not.
Robert De Niro, Ray Liotta. It's like an ensemble cast. It's so far it's pretty good. Sylvester Stallone is really impressing me with his acting
And his accent, right?
and well, in that movie he doesn't have an accent. And he doesn't have a slow slur either, like Balboa. But he's really impressing me. He's doing a really good job. I would check it out. It's on Netflix. It's called Copland.
Copland.
Yeah.
How about that?
How about you?
I went and saw the new Die Hard movie.
That's right. You did see it.
I did tell you about that. It was. I'll tell you what. It wasn't as over the top as the fourth one. Like the fourth one was just insane. Like I'm gonna drive a police car up a bridge and take out a helicopter.
But something about that just touches the male ego. Like,
oh, absolutely.
We love crap like that.
Every guy wants to see a helicopter get blown up in the most unorthodox ways possible.
Right.
Why not do it with a car as a projectile?
And live to tell the tale.
Yeah, but this one was not as over the top. It was it was a little more realistic. I'll tell you what, though. I mean, granted, you hear the John McClane tagline, "Yippee-ki-yay,"
Of course.
but you weren't expecting it at the time that he did it. Like the first one, where he's got the gun taped to his back.
Spoiler.
And he says "Yippee-ki-yay" and he pulls the gun.
Spoiler for the first Die Hard.
Yeah, if you haven't seen the first Die Hard, that's 28 years old.
That's right.
Probably the greatest. I'd say the greatest one of the series, by the way.
I liked 1.
2 was really good too.
And 3.
3?
I don't remember 2. I remember. I know I watched it, but I don't remember 2. So that's why I say 1 and 3 because those left the bigger. Those movies left a bigger. Yeah, they left a bigger impact, and I remember them.
I'll tell you
and Samuel L. Jackson, dude, come on.
Well, yeah, Samuel. I mean, that was right after both of them did Pulp Fiction. There's actually a callback to Pulp Fiction in there.
Yep.
Did you? Where he says, "What'd you do while you were suspended?" He says, "Just sat around playing solitaire or what do you say? Smoking cigarettes and watching Captain Kangaroo."
No, I didn't hear that.
Yeah, because it's very subtle, and
now that you say it sounds familiar.
Yeah, but I mean, he didn't say he didn't say it just like it was in the song, in the Statler Brothers song. But he said, just sitting around, smoked cigarettes, played watch Captain Kangaroo, stuff like that. But the first one's in the Nakatomi Building,
right?
Which is just awesome, an awesome movie. The second one takes place in, it's either I think it's
in the airport,
the DC airport.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the third one, of course, takes place on the streets of New York. The fourth one goes back to DC.
Did you say the forced one?
The fourth one. The fourth one goes, and then the fifth one it takes place predominantly in Russia, in Moscow, and then Chernobyl. Actually,
I actually liked the fourth one. I enjoyed the fourth one.
Yeah, it was decent. I mean, it was a little, like I said, it was a little over the top.
Yeah, it was over the top, but we love that. Like I said.
But dude, the bad guy in that one, and I forget his name, but he's the lead on that show, Justified. Dude is an awesome actor.
Really?
Oh, dude, he is an awesome actor.
Is he a bad guy in Justified?
No, he's the good. He's the sheriff. He's the main. He's the lead. He was
he was in 4.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Oh,
That's what I said.
Talking about the new movie. I'm like, oh.
No, you know what? I forget who the bad guy is in this one. Well, I'm not going to give it away because the bad guy is a number of things.
Mm-hmm.
There's a go figure. There's a There's a smoking hot chick in the movie too.
Get out of here.
I know it's a movie of for guys, and there's a smoking hot chick in it. So anyway, back to Days of Thunder.
Days of Thunder.
So Days of Thunder, tell me about it. What's it about?
Days of Thunder.
I know what it's about, but
Tom Cruise. We all know who Tom Cruise is.
yes.
Tom Cruise plays race driver Cole Trickle, who's
Great name.
Cole Trickle. That's what
Great
happens to
name.
me after IP. Race driver Cole Trickle, whose talent and ambition are surpassed only by his burning need to win. Discovered by businessman Tim Dillon, played by Randy Quaid, Cole is teamed with legendary crew chief and car builder Harry Hogg, Academy Award winner Robert Duvall, to race for the Winston Cup at the Daytona 500. A fiery crash nearly ends Cole's career, and he must turn to a beautiful doctor to regain his nerve and the true courage needed to race, to win, and to live.
So this movie had a huge cast. Huge.
Pretty good cast.
Oh, I'd say. I mean, you have Tom Cruise and Nicole Kidman as the leads, where they actually met on this set.
Right.
And the movie was filmed in '89. It was released in '90, and they got married in 1990.
Mm-hmm.
Robert Duvall, who has never, in my history of seeing movies with Robert Duvall, never turned in a bad performance.
Right.
He may have been in a bad movie, but he has never had a bad performance.
I agree. He can't lose with me.
No, not at all.
Yes.
I mean, I'll tell you who can, though, given the right movie, is Randy Quaid. But Randy Quaid was awesome, and I'm going to go out on a limb and say he was also sane throughout this movie.
He was. He wasn't Cousin Eddie at all.
No,
Which
not at all.
Even though I kept on thinking about Cousin Eddie, he wasn't Cousin Eddie in this one.
Dude, look at his IMDb picture.
I'm going right now.
He looks like his beard and his jacket look like they're connected. Like his jacket is an extension of his beard.
Oh! It does. He looks so weird. It must suck being the ugly brother, right?
Dude, he's married to some chick though.
Okay.
Good for him, yeah. But anyway, to recap, so Tom Cruise plays Cole Trickle. Nicole Kidman plays Dr. Lewicki. Robert Duvall plays Harry Hoagie, whatever, however you pronounce. I don't think they ever said his last name, did they? No, good answer.
I don't know.
He's the crew chief, the veteran crew chief. Randy Quaid is Tim Dillon, the owner of the team, and he's the one that assembles the team.
Mm-hmm.
Tom Cruise, Cole's nemesis, is Rowdy Burns, played by Michael Rooker.
Who I like too.
Yeah, he was awesome. I just love his smugness.
Yeah.
Dude, did you notice that John C. Reilly was in the movie?
Absolutely. He was reprising his role.
What other racing movie was he in?
I guess he wasn't reprising his role, but I guess he reprised his role in Ricky Bobby.
Ricky Bobby, that's it.
What the hell's the name of the What the hell's the name of the movie?
The Ballad of Ricky Bobby.
There you go.
Little shake.
I was half right. A little bake.
That's
our names. That's our names.
Yeah.
That's what we call ourselves.
So Fred Dalton Thompson, also in the movie, plays Big John. I guess he was either a racetrack owner, or because NASCAR doesn't own the racetracks, or he was the NASCAR dude in charge.
I don't know who Big Tom was. I don't know who you're talking about.
Big John. He was the guy that said.
Big John. See, I don't even know his name.
He's the one that sat him down, made him go to dinner together.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
So coming back.
Yeah, so that's the main characters, and Carrie Elways was in the movie as well, about halfway through.
Yeah, he had a short little role.
But it was pretty prominent though too.
Yeah.
So here's first question: NASCAR. Do you know what it stands for?
National? No.
Yeah.
National. I don't know.
It's an acronym.
Yeah, I figured that because it's national.
Yeah. National Association for.
I guess R is racing.
Yeah, National Association for Stock Car Auto Racing.
Oh, okay.
And okay, so that's enough.
Now we all know how it started, right? Do we all know how it started? Should we say how it started?
Yeah, and it's actually there's kind of a subtle callback to it
Hmm.
in the movie for moonshiners outrunning the
Okay.
law.
Yeah, bootleggers used to basically hook up their cars so
Hmm.
that they can outrun the police, and then they started to race each other
Hmm.
just for fun, and that's how it started. It just went from there.
Yep, yep. They actually the first Daytona 500 was on the beaches of Daytona.
Mm.
Yeah, exciting.
I wonder if they can still do that
Yeah, probably not. You get a lot of sand in their
in
tires.
their jockeys. Okay.
Yeah. So this movie was directed by the late Tony Scott. Second movie with Tony Scott directing, Tom Cruise starring.
Hmm.
First one, Anthony.
Uh,
You got it.
that
Top
good?
Gun.
Top Gun,
Top
baby.
Gun. Great movie.
That's one of my favorite movies. I will, maybe we'll see that later. Who knows? I don't want to say what I think about it now. But well, I
Yeah,
already did. I already did. It's one of my favorite
it's
movies.
a great movie. Yeah, well, we can go into detail later.
That's right.
So, so I noticed. I mean, I don't watch NASCAR anymore. If
Hmm.
it's on and there's nothing else on, I'll pop it on. But my dad and my grandfather used to be huge Winston Cup fans.
Hmm.
Sprint, Nextel Cup, not so much,
Hmm.
but huge Winston Cup fans. So I recognized all the old stuff, the old sponsors,
Hmm.
Unical 76 instead of Sunoco, and
Right.
Like I said, Winston Cup and all that stuff. That was
Now you grew up around that, right? Like when in Pennsylvania, didn't you grow up around that?
no.
No, okay. I'm thinking of a different part of Pennsylvania because my brother used to live in the Poconos, and I know they have
Mhm.
a race there.
That was yeah, in the Poconos. That's north up
Well,
80, I think. No, uh,
Pennsylvania's huge. It's up 84, I think.
maybe
Like
I don't
way up
remember.
84. Well, from where I am, it's like 4 hours away.
Yeah, it's long enough. It was far
Hmm.
enough away that I didn't really go
Hmm.
ever. So this movie stars Tom Cruise, Nicole Kidman. Do you know any other movies that starred Tom Cruise and Nicole Kidman?
I want to say, okay, off the top of my head, Eyes Wide Shut,
Uh huh.
and what the heck is the name of that movie where they were Scottish or something, Irish, and they were looking for land in America.
It's
Far and
obs-
Away, Far and
you
Away.
got it. It's obscure. Not a lot of people know about that movie, but
I
it was
actually
good.
enjoyed that movie.
It was a good movie.
Yeah.
I agree. So you're two for two. Well, one for two. Um, yeah, I love the beginning of the movie where they're talking. They're like, "So who's this driver?" And apparently nobody knows.
Hmm.
And Tom Cruise comes strolling up on his motorcycle through an access gate.
Oh, he came in pretty cool, didn't he? You can see
Oh yeah,
they had the camera like far away, so you see the humidity coming off the
on the
ground,
ground level.
and he's coming in as the hero,
Yeah,
at
that's
like
like,
basically a badass shot.
yeah. I'm the hero at the very beginning of the movie where there's no turmoil yet.
If you think of, you know what though, if you think about it, it's like Maverick left Top Gun and kept
Yeah,
on going, riding on his motorcycle, and ended up at the racetrack.
yeah. A lot of those Tom Cruise movies had in the '80s had motorcycles in them,
Yeah,
where he was the unexpected badass.
right. I,
But
I just I just I just made that connection right now.
yeah, so that led me to think though, because Tom Cruise is always on his motorcycle, or at least it
Mhm.
seems that he was. I mean, I don't have one, but have you ever thought about getting a motorcycle license?
I thought about it,
Hmm.
and I don't know if I trust myself with that much power under me. I may fly off a cliff, because I'm not. If you're gonna get a motorcycle, why do 55?
Hmm.
When you can
Well,
do so much more.
yeah.
I do, however, want a scooter. Now I don't know if you can picture that. I'm 6'2", riding on a little scooter.
Only if it's got the pedals, the
Oh
moped
my
with the
God, those are
pedals.
great. That's right. So that I have the option. If I
Yeah,
run out
I
of
would.
gas, I can still get home. I can
Yeah,
ride the rest of the
you
way.
got the pedal option. So, so we go through the movie, and they obviously they said Tom Cruise. I don't want to say he kind of badgers him, or they settle on him as a driver because he is, as he puts it, the best option.
Hmm. For
Um,
the for the money.
exactly. So then they go through, and Harry goes through and builds a car. But when he builds the car, he builds it in the dark.
Yeah, he does. In a,
I,
in, in a in a little ray of like sunshine
yeah, like
for light.
yeah, like just a little bit, a little ray of sunshine. Mama said that alligators are happy because
What? Okay, I don't know what movie that is.
Waterboy. Mama said.
Oh, right. Duh.
So, so he goes through, and then we see him in his first race,
Hmm.
and he hits every single car to the point where Harry tells him hit the pace car.
Right. He said, "Why? Why?" He's like, "That's the only one you haven't hit yet. I want you to be perfect."
Yeah, and then I forget if it was the same race or not, but he tells him, I think it was the next race. He tells him that he can't pit because because they're eating ice cream.
And then they show Tom Cruise in the stock car driving by them, and he's looking at them. They're really eating ice cream.
Man, that made me laugh. I was like, what is going on here? Like,
How about Tom Cruise's jeans were the tightest jeans ever.
oh man,
That's sad.
I don't know about you, but I try not. I didn't try not to. I successfully didn't want or didn't try to look at his jeans.
You couldn't. They were looking at you when you weren't looking at them. 'Cause they were really tight. They were
They had,
really tight. I guess he had to have, I don't know. Maybe he didn't want his jeans to get caught in the motorcycle.
maybe that's the way it was. Loose jacket,
Hmm.
tight jeans.
Right. And
I don't
then
know.
I don't know if you caught this, but they were talking about where he was from, and he was like, "Is he a Yankee or something like that?"
Yeah, is he a
And he
Yankee
said
or a
he
Southern
said
boy?
he says no, he's not. He's from California, and he goes, if you're from California, and you're not a Yankee, then you're really not anything.
Yeah. Well, that pissed him off, as we found out later in the movie, because he was afraid of being nothing.
Yeah, exactly. But he really showed him when he went around that track, right? That first time when he did the chest
Oh
drive,
yeah, he
and
laid down.
he dropped the hammer, as they say.
He did.
No euphemisms. I'm not. It's not a euphemism. It's real. It's called
Yeah, well,
dropping the hammer.
it's a direct quote also.
It is a direct quote. Dropping the hammer. No, don't do that. You're gonna spin out or something. He said.
Well, he showed them. He even turned in a better time than Rowdy.
He did. But
So
then he said, let's see how he does in traffic.
yeah, yeah. Which then the next scene was when he hit every car except the pace car.
Right.
So did you notice after the that race when they're in the bar and he's telling them how he doesn't know anything about cars?
Hmm.
Um,
Oh,
did,
right. Yeah.
did you notice how Harry was talking to him? Harry was talking to Cole like he was his grandfather, and he had that. I don't want to say old world, but he had that older generation. Like, I'm
Hmm.
going to talk to you and try to get my point across by being louder and sounding stern. I was like, man, it's like listening to my grandfather talk to somebody.
Well, this was at the point where cousin Eddie told him that he has to make him trust him,
Yeah. Oh, that's
right?
true.
He has,
Yeah.
he has to make him trust him. So I think that's why he went down into the bar and talked to him and
Hmm.
try to make him see that he actually cares about him and blah blah blah. And then he opened up to him like you said and
Hmm.
told him he knows nothing about cars.
Yeah. Well, I'd say the same thing because I know zero about cars.
I know zero about cars either. I know
I
how
know how
to
to
press the
turn.
gas and press the
Yeah.
brake.
I had to turn it on, drive it forward. I know how to put it in reverse. Drive too. That's
Yeah.
pretty much
But
it.
I guess as a race driver, you should know something, because
Well,
you're the one driving the car. You have to, and he says this. He says you have to tell him if something's wrong with the car,
you got to be in
so
communication.
that he could fix it. But if you don't know what you're saying, then you know
Well, and a lot of those
it's gonna be
guys,
hard to do.
a lot of those drivers, are a mechanic to some degree, have a hand
Hmm.
in, not the design or the build, but, if there's any repair that needs done or anything like that,
Hmm.
they'll get into that. But how about how about after they first win? And I mentioned this a minute ago. They're drinking moonshine
Hmm.
in the back of the car trailer, but then
Which
they
was
get
a which was a great trailer, man.
Well,
Oh my
I've
god,
been to.
that thing was set up nice.
I'll tell you what. Down here in Charlotte at the NASCAR Hall of Fame,
Hmm.
they actually have like a trailer, like they would in like the modern ones are,
Hmm.
and they're actually really decked out. I mean, they have it's a shorter roof
Hmm.
because they have two cars up top. They have
Oh
tracks
right,
that
okay,
take the car overhead,
sure.
and then they have it's about wide. It's about 18 or 20 inches wide, a walk space. They have benches to sit on, like padded benches with padded backs for like a
Jeez.
common area. They
Mhm.
have like tool chests, cabinets up top. They have chests on the bottom. They have counter space, and then they have like this little pimp room that it was like a bedroom for like six people, but with like bunk
Jeez.
beds and stuff. It was pretty cool,
Also known as a pimp room.
but it wasn't just a single person pimp room. It was like I said,
It was a
six
multi
dude.
pimp room.
Yeah, it was like six dudes, and that's like the opposite of pimp room.
Six dudes in fur coats and big hats with a feather in it.
Yeah, yeah,
It was like
that's exactly it.
enough room for six Huggy Bears.
So
And a Snoop Dogg.
there you go. So then they get pulled over by the cops, and I forgot about this part. The cop just knocks on the door and opens the door right up. I'm like, what's going on here? Like, I got a little mad, and then I realized that it was a stripper.
I didn't forget about this part. I was waiting for it.
Yeah,
Yeah, it
and
was a stripper cop,
yeah,
and also she was hotter than Nicole Kidman.
yeah. I'd say she was pretty decent.
If I can say that,
She
if I can
was,
say that,
you
because
can go,
I'm just not a big Nicole Kidman fan, I guess.
you can go on record and say that. I'll allow it. I
Yeah,
won't
I'm
hold
gonna
that
go on
against
record
you.
and say that I don't know what her name was, and I will never know what her name was or is. I don't know if she's alive or not,
We can find out. We have
but
the internet.
she was freaking hot, dude. She was hot. And what was it? She said that he had a concealed weapon.
Yeah. So next scene we see we're at the second race of the year at Daytona,
Oh man, this was a
which
crazy
man,
race.
the race and then the crash.
What an awesome crash it was.
You ain't kidding. It was just like
It was so
bam.
much, it was what, a bunch of people crashed, and then there was smoke,
Hmm.
and Tom Cruise said he's going to drive right through it, right?
Yep. Well, Rowdy was right in front of him.
Right, and then he mashes Roddy, and then
Well,
he flips
yeah.
over, right, a couple times.
Well, Rowdy spun out,
Uh-huh.
which so I mean, what he was talking about and what he talks about later in the movie is you pick a point and you just go straight through.
Hmm.
Hopefully you can see
And
on the other
hope you
end.
make it.
Exactly. And and basically what happened was Rowdy went through and Cole was right behind him and he went through. But
Hmm.
Rowdy spun out. And when he spun out, his car basically did a 180
Hmm.
and he was right in Cole's lane. Had Cole been, a car length left or right, it wouldn't have been an issue. But obviously, as we saw, that was not the case.
Yeah, that's what happens when you try to drive through smoke and you can't see.
Hmm.
That's what happens. That was a crazy car crash. It was well done.
Yeah, I mean, it was very well done. There was a lot of cars involved. There were 35, I believe it was 35 cars that were totaled in this movie
Why do you know that? All right.
because it's on IMDb.
Well done, sir.
Leilani Sorrell,
Is that her
female
name?
highway police officer.
Is her name highlighted?
Um, no,
Darn.
but it's right there. And she looks pretty decent still.
Oh, okay.
She's born in 1966.
That's why I was asking to see if there was a picture of her now.
She
Oh,
is
dude,
in.
she is freaking hot still. She's even hotter, if I can say that.
Hmm. She looks like she does
Oh,
a lot of television shows, and a lot of B-rate TV movies.
Basic Instinct is no
Yeah.
B-rate.
Well, that was the only. She was in LA Law.
Oh my God! Look at that Sleep is Still. The Unit. That's pretty recent.
She was in a show
Uh,
called Shag.
That's what the pimps do
Yeah, the pimp room.
in the
She was
pimp
on
room
she was on
on
Highway
the
to
trailer.
Heaven.
Oh my god, that's so far back. All right, so basically she's still freaking hot. All right.
Yeah, I agree. So yeah, so after the wreck, cut to the hospital where they're both in the hospital. He meets up with the doctor. He thinks
Oh
she's a stripper.
yeah.
Takes her hand, puts it on his G unit, and um, he finds out that she is not a doctor or not a stripper, but a real doctor.
Yep.
Boy,
Did you
when,
notice that her accent kept on going in and out?
a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know what she was. I didn't know if she was trying to be American or
I don't know.
where's she? She's Australian, right? Yeah.
She's native. She's
Hmm.
from Australia, but I don't know if they gave her a backstory or not.
Mm.
Obviously, she's a doctor in Daytona, Florida.
Yep. Yep. The,
So
the, her hair was just out of control.
she had like permanent frizz.
Yeah, it looked like Ronald McDonald hair.
Ronald McDonald's got a smooth,
Yeah,
smooth
that's true. He has a smooth perm.
dude. It looked like
But
if George Clinton would do something to his hair. Like,
you know, it looked like those hats you get on Halloween and it has the hair coming out.
yeah,
That's exactly what it looked like to me. And it looked
yeah,
messy and not put together. Ugh. I just don't like Nicole Kidman. I don't know if I mentioned that enough.
yeah, you did. I'm pretty sure you did.
No, I know I mentioned it before, but I don't think I mentioned it enough. Is what I was saying.
Oh, okay. But when they're going for tests and they're in the wheelchairs next to each other,
And they start racing.
yeah, you know what it reminded me of? It reminded me of Rocky, the very beginning of Rocky 2, where they start arguing in the wheelchairs.
Oh yeah. Apollo
Yeah,
and Rocky,
Apollo and Rocky, where they're just going
Action,
back and forth.
Action Jackson and Rambo.
Yeah. Or Chubbs and the guy from Over the Top.
Was he? He was Chubbs in the Predator.
No, that was
Why does that sound familiar?
Happy Gilmore.
Chubbs.
Happy Gilmore.
Oh yeah.
Man, you're missing all the Adam Sandler references
Yeah, no
tonight.
kidding. I'm playing for Chubbs. No, I'm playing for Chubbs. All right. Wheelchair race. Why do I have rental race here? What is that? Oh, the rental
I
car.
do. Yeah, dude.
The rental car.
They were definitely racing because they were rubbing.
Oh my God, they were definitely rubbing those cars. Those cars were in the worst shape when they finally parked them. I'm surprised they were able to even get them. Those cars were not drivable when they actually showed the cars in the parking lot. There's no way that those cars got there with them driving.
No,
There's
not at all.
no way. There's no way.
And they were on the beach at one point, riding through the water. What car wouldn't stall out?
They were all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
And they were like oh my God, if those cars didn't say 80s.
Oh man,
what does.
like it was like a Ford Tempo and like
Yeah.
what else it was, I don't know, but man, that was funny. But man, but when he gives her that, when she gives him that physical,
Mm-hmm.
and he's like, "Oh, you're ignoring me, wait," and then she basically like molests his mouth.
Yeah, I wasn't ignoring you, and then
Yeah,
they proceed to swap spit.
I would say that she was ignoring him, wouldn't you?
She definitely stopped ignoring him if that was the case. She was ignoring him though.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought so too, and I don't think that her saying that she wasn't was
It was
accurate.
not valid.
Yeah, yeah. But then, then he wants to show her something that he can. Well, how did he put it? He wants to show her how he can control something that's uncontrollable, and he uses sugar packets, and
Oh yeah, like on her legs.
yeah, and he uses the Victory Lane analogy. I can't say I've ever used that one.
Ugh, that part. I just don't like Nicole Kidman. Ugh.
Dude, you know what though?
I was so hoping that was the cop stripper that he was doing that to.
You know what made me laugh though? Was
What's
when
that?
he was sitting there at the airport or at the hotel when he was going to take her back to the airport, and the taxi driver got all quick with him, and he tapped him, so we reversed into the taxi driver, and like this impromptu car chase scene took place.
Oh,
and
yeah.
it
She
stopped out
started.
of nowhere. Like it went, and then it stopped.
Well, it didn't just stop. Um,
Well, she got all
this,
pissy.
well, this is what I have. I don't know if you heard her saying this. Let me out of the car.
Yeah.
Let me out of the car.
All of a sudden, she became a
Oh my
Boston. She had a
god! It's
Boston
like,
accent.
shut. Oh, I wish I would have capped that. I didn't have time to, but that's all I kept on hearing, and because of my dislike for her, it made it even worse. So it's like,
You-
shut up! Let me out of the car! Let me out of the car!
Man,
Ugh.
it's like such Boston and Maine.
Yeah, ugh. With a
But
side of
then,
ugh.
you know what though? He was a good friend to Rowdy
He
because
was.
he made him go to the hospital and get his brain worked on.
Yeah, and he would have died.
Yeah. Well, eventually, I mean, he couldn't even stand with his eyes closed.
Right. He had what do you have? He had blood clot or something, right? They had to drain it or something like that.
I think he had a pop blood vessel that was leaking blood into his brain.
Ugh.
That's not good. Yeah, that makes my brain hurt.
Ugh. Nothing about that sounds good.
Yeah, no thanks. I'm going to the doctor after this show.
Yeah, I'm going to have him drain the brain, drain the main vein.
Just
Wait,
drain
what?
your blood. Something like that.
Let me out of the car!
But then, then we see Rowdy. Rowdy needs his car to pass within the top 5 at Daytona. Which,
in order to keep his sponsors.
yeah. Now, what really throws me off, I mean, granted, I know that the Daytona 500 is the first race of the year, and it really threw me off
I did not know that.
the way they talked about it in the movie. Like, there was no break in the action from the race where they had the accident to those few races where Cole was, gun shy and scared to the Daytona 500. Did it seem like there was any break in time? Like the season was over?
Actually, everything seemed fine to me because I didn't know that the Daytona 500 was the first race
Yeah, well, it just seemed
of
really.
the season.
It just seems strange, but Rowdy also said that he needs to finish within the top 5 so that his sponsor will pick up the tab for the. His sponsor will pick up the tab for the year.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that was, I mean.
So basically, what you're telling me is the season was over.
Yeah, so in that time frame, the season was over. I didn't know that from watching the movie. I knew that from knowing the schedule.
Right. See, to me, it seemed like it was a week or two later.
Yeah, and like they fired him. It seemed
Maybe a month.
Yeah, like it seemed like when they all got fired, like it was in the middle of the season.
Yeah, that's the way it looked to me.
Yeah, so the time. I mean, it could have been edited a little better, but then we go to the Daytona 500, and we see. What are you laughing at?
I just read one of your notes in there, and it made me laugh. I can't wait till you get to it because it really made me laugh.
Oh yeah, I know which one you're looking at. So we see the pep talk to the 51 mellow yellow car. I thought that was kind of funny.
Sorry.
And then,
dude, is mellow yellow still a thing?
Yeah, it's a drink. Like where'd I go? I went to.
I know it's a drink, but like.
Well, yeah, it's still out there. It's mainly in fountain sodas at your local.
You know what? You're right.
Yeah, like Burger King.
7-Eleven or something, right?
Well, yeah, like you can go to Burger King or any store any place that does Coke products. Side note: have you been to the Burger Kings that have the new Coke dispensers where you pick the main flavor? Like
you mean
Coke?
You mean the heaven flavor?
Yeah,
the heaven machine.
Where you get like Coke, and then it's like, do you want orange flavored Coke, lime flavored Coke?
You want vanilla, cherry?
Yeah,
dude, what the
everything.
hell?
They have every flavor ever. I was like, what is this? Like, I got confused. I'm like, I don't know how to work this thing.
I tell my fiance whenever we go to some place like that, we are not getting drive-through.
No.
This deserves a sit down because I need free refills so that I can taste all of these things because supposedly it's like 160 something different
combinations,
like varieties. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's if you don't combine flavors, I guess.
Yeah,
man,
that's a whole other story.
Vanilla cherry Coke.
Oh.
Can you imagine? I want to go to Burger King after I go to the doctor.
I want to go right now. I want to go right now. Did I have Burger King yesterday? Actually,
I had Taco Bell this morning or this afternoon.
We're such fatties.
Yeah, I have to go for. I went for a run yesterday, so that makes it okay. So at the Daytona 500, where Cole kind of gets his timing back, so to speak.
Hmm.
I love how the one guy gets tapped in the back and his hood just flies off. Like out of nowhere, like he gets tapped, like that's the laws of physics all of a sudden.
That's what happens when you tap the back. The front comes off.
Yeah, like who knew? And then like there's this huge pile up, and then there's white smoke yet again.
Hmm. Oh yeah,
And
you know
then,
what? You forgot that when the enemies became friends, and
yeah, well,
he's driving Cole's
oh
car.
yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
No, Cole is driving Rowdy's car.
Rowdy's car, right?
Yeah, I touched on it, but yeah, I didn't
Yeah.
make it. I didn't specifically say.
And
So,
and cousin Eddie put an engine in there.
well, yeah, that's right because
Cousin
the oil
Eddie's.
pan was leaking.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
cousin Eddie's. So he still had a little. We totally glazed over.
Well, we don't want to give everything away.
No, we totally glazed over Wesley from Princess Bride.
Oh yeah, you're gonna have to be more specific. I didn't see that movie.
Carrie Eloise. Oh my God.
Oh, I got you. Oh yeah, so in the time frame that Cole is on the shelf and he hasn't been cleared to drive, they bring in Russ Wheeler, Carrie Elways, to
Great
play.
name,
Yeah, to race for him. It's definitely a racing name, Russ Wheeler.
Russ Wheeler.
It's like Rusty Wallace or
That's right.
yeah,
It's like Cole Trickle.
Cole Trickle.
Cole Trickle. You either go to race cars or be the starting quarterback for Miami Dolphins. I don't know.
I'll tell you what though. During when this movie came out, there was a guy who was in NASCAR who had the greatest name of all time,
Go for it.
Dick Trickle.
Oh, stop it.
The greatest name on the
That is-
planet.
I must admit that is.
That name could have so many different applications.
but only one comes to mind.
Yeah, nice. So anyway, so they bring in Russ Wheeler. He drives for the 46, whatever the sponsor was.
Mhm.
And then once Cole's able to come back and drive, he takes back over. And then Randy Quaid, Tim DeLand, creates a second team sponsored by Hardee's that Russ drives. And eventually Cole gets fired. We'll leave that part of the plot to you to watch. It's pretty good way to get fired, though. So
I don't remember him getting fired.
he got fired because he ran into Russ Wheeler after he
Oh
won.
yeah, that's right. That's right.
So then he doesn't have.
nailed him.
Yeah, he nailed him. So and to recap where we were, then since he's not driving, and what's his name? Rowdy can't drive because he's going in for surgery. Then Rowdy asked him to drive his car, 51 car. He doesn't have a sponsor. Which, did you find it interesting that even though he didn't have a sponsor, Mellow Yellow was sponsoring the car?
Yeah.
I thought that was kind of interesting.
I think that it was just maybe it was just on there from before.
Well,
I don't know.
I don't know. I couldn't tell you.
Who knows?
I think he had a Exxon or something as his sponsor.
No, you know what? It was so that he can keep his sponsors.
Oh, was that what it was?
Right. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
okay. I got you. So, he drives.
So apparently they don't sponsor the driver; they sponsor the car. I guess I don't know.
The team has a
However-
sponsor. You can switch drivers in and out, but
You're
a
right.
a bigger name driver, will call or will draw in a bigger sponsor or a
Sure.
bigger company.
Okay.
So, for example, there's an auto auction in Pennsylvania called Mannheim Auto Auction. Very small, only place. There's not a chain of them. It's in Mannheim, Pennsylvania. Go figure. It was a sponsor of a car of like some no name a couple years ago, whereas like Pepsi sponsors, somebody. Lowe's sponsors somebody.
Sure.
So
M&Ms. I always see M&Ms on
yeah.
the cars.
So you have big names that are nationwide, and you have some that are smaller that are, they don't have
Just-
to put out as much because the driver is not as relevant.
Hmm. They're just coming up.
Yeah. So did you notice how dirty these cars got during the races?
Yeah.
Like how
I did.
disgusting they got?
Yeah.
And then they were clean in the next scene. The edits could have been a little better.
Well, that's what happens in Hollywood, baby.
Yeah, I guess so. You got to go through a car wash halfway through the race. Tire change, more gas, car wash.
Man, those cars seem like they go so fast.
Yeah. So, just to finish up the end of the movie, car gets rear-ended, hood flies off, there's a wreck. Cole Cole is a little gun shy, puts his foot back on the gas, goes right through, and Cole Trickle is.
And they're going back and forth. They're going him and
Harry.
We're going back and forth because Harry's telling him, "You can make it. You can go through there." And obviously he's hesitant because last time it didn't work. He ended up in the hospital.
Yeah, well, he had to face his fears, and he did, and obviously he came through on it.
Yeah, he did.
So then, we go through the race, and, he wins the race in a true 80s movie fashion. But when he's celebrating it at Victory Lane, he sees Harry just sitting there on the stump. It's like, well, what's Harry doing? So he walks away from Victory Lane, which I've never seen anyone do.
By himself.
Yeah, by himself. Nobody follows him. Nobody cares.
The crowd isn't going to stay with him.
Yeah, nobody cares. He's just, nope, talk to you later. And then he talks Robert Duvall into coming over to Victory Lane, where Robert Duvall stands up, walks away, and then he says, "I'll race you." And he proceeds to run like the chicken from Chicken Run. That
you know what?
Laugh.
You know what was even funnier? He was actually faster than Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
He actually had some pep in his step. I was surprised.
Man, but seeing the chicken running, that was hilarious.
That's actually what I was laughing at when you said.
I knew it. I knew it the second I saw it.
Running like a chicken.
Yeah, and then in true fashion, because it came out in '90, but it was filmed in '89. So in true '80s movie fashion, there's an awful song at the end, over the end credits.
The hell was the song?
I don't even know it was that bad.
Oh, okay. Can I ask you a question? Why did they put Nicole Kidman? Thanks. Never mind. I won't ask you that. Why did they put Nicole Kidman on their shoulders at the end of the movie?
Did he or didn't he?
No, they did. They had Cole Trickle up on his shoulder, like lifting him up in the air. And they lifted up Nicole Kidman. What? She had nothing to do with anything.
I don't know. Maybe just the fact that she was there and that she was,
No, she didn't do anything. I think Harry should have been up there. There could have been. I can pick a bunch of people that should have been up there. Harry.
What dude wants to put another dude on his shoulders?
Riley, the cop stripper. Obviously, she was.
Yeah, but what dude would put another dude on his shoulders?
They had Cole Trickle on their shoulders.
Well, yeah. Okay, you got me there. I'll tell you what, though. I don't know if you noticed this, but in this movie, in some other '80s Tom Cruise movie I can't think of right now, have you noticed that Top Gun? Have you noticed that there's a common theme, a running theme, that he stalks his future love interests? Like not quite stalks, but he to a degree he harasses them, and maybe that was how they dated in the 80s.
Borderline harassment, right?
Yeah,
it can go
creepy.
either way.
Yeah, like potentially creepy if she's not into you, or she says no more than 3 times. Potentially creepy, but yeah, I just thought that was interesting, and I do want to correct the movie. Now I live in Charlotte now, and I already know this, and I've lived here for 3 months. They referred to what you would call the downtown area. They referred to that area of Charlotte, the downtown area, as downtown Charlotte. I don't know when this was put into place, but just for everyone who's listening who cares, which is probably 0 people who care, not who are listening, because I know there's more than 0 listening.
For people that care about the truth.
Yeah, if you want the truth, you can't handle the truth. Haha, Tom Cruise movie callback.
It was.
So downtown Charlotte is actually referred to as Uptown Charlotte. And then the area around Uptown Charlotte, the suburbs, if you will, are called Midtown Charlotte. I don't understand it, but whatever. There's comic book shops there, so that's all that I care about.
Thank you for the history.
And that's where the Bobcats play.
Yeah.
The Bobcats play in Uptown because they're real good.
Well, you're a big time basketball fan, so.
Oh, I'm a huge basketball fan.
Of course, you love the Bobcats.
You know what? I thought about this. I've been to 3.
You were like the Bobcats, man. I love hockey.
I thought about it and I figured out. I've been to 3 basketball games in my life, 3 NBA games.
You went to one recently, right? You went to a Bobcats game.
Yeah, I went to the Bobcats where they got just beaten. I forget who they got beat by because it was that important to me.
Right.
I went to a Magic game when I was in Orlando, and that was about 3 years ago. And
How many touchdowns did they have?
they scored they scored 7 home runs. And I went to a Sixers game back when Al Snow played for the Sixers.
Jeez.
When AI played for the Sixers the first
Oh
time.
my God.
That was man, I was still working in Pennsylvania and Exton at the time. I was probably 2003.
Did you say Exon?
Exton. It's a city.
Like you said, you were Exon at the time.
Yeah, I was Exton. No, I was Axon. No, I got tickets for work.
For those of you listening, the reason why we're joking about this is because Sean is not a sports guy.
Well, I like baseball.
Well, you don't like basketball. You don't really watch football either, right? Until like playoffs or whatever.
Dude, Karen will watch football more than I will.
That's because Karen is dope.
Yeah, well, I'll probably be getting some tickets to the Panthers. I just don't care about football. I mean, I played football in high school, and you know,
right there, Al Bundy.
Yeah, I scored 4 touchdowns in a game. No,
Let's see that Letterman jacket.
Yeah, well, it's in Pennsylvania. It really is, along with my wrestling jacket.
Oh God.
So, but yeah, so I've been to a whole 3 basketball games. I don't know why we're talking about that, but
yeah, how'd that happen?
I don't really. I'll check. Listen to the podcast.
Yeah, we'll see how we got there. Like, what the hell?
Yeah, I don't know. All over the place today.
Real quick, we were talking about running themes, like similarities between Top Gun and Days of Thunder. Another one is enemies becoming friends.
Yeah, that's true.
Because you can be my wingman anytime. Sean.
Iceman, yep. I was Iceman. Hollywood was his wingman. Because I almost said Hollywood. That's where that came from.
Doc Hollywood? Wait, what?
That's Michael J. Fox. Callback to episode 2, Teen Wolf.
Oh.
See, there's too many parallels.
There are, because you know what? He was in a movie called Doc Hollywood, and Iceman played Doc Hollywood in Tombstone. Jeez.
Oh, dude,
you see what I did there?
Dude, the internet's going to blow up here in a minute. It's on a 10-second delay.
At any moment, Armageddon, one of those meteorites will be falling to the...
Yeah, download the episode now, before the Armageddon, before you run out of power.
Yeah, right? Now, Days of Thunder on Rotten Tomatoes, it's rotten, dude.
That's a shame.
It's 40% critics and 59% audience.
It's a 5.6 out of 10 on IMDb.
Yeah, that's not... I mean, that's basically halfway. Similar to Rotten Tomato is halfway. You know, 59%, I'll just say 60, so 60%, which means it's more... 60% means it's more good than bad.
Yeah,
you know?
I think it was definitely much more good than bad.
Well, you were excited about this movie from day one.
Dude, I was so excited for this movie. When we came across it, I told you like the day before, I was so excited, and then I was so excited that I didn't watch it until Monday.
Yeah.
But I was busy. I was in Pennsylvania all weekend.
Mm-hmm.
But I was so excited.
But while you were watching it, you texted me
Dude, I did.
to confirm your excitedness.
That it was so awesome. I'll tell you what though. Normally I watch these movies on Tuesdays.
Mm-hmm.
Well, normally I watch them on Tuesdays, but I knew I had something to do, which I don't remember what it was, on Tuesday. But so I watched it on Monday, but I didn't start watching it till like 10 o'clock. I'm like, man, I gotta watch the whole movie. And normally, I mean, this movie's an hour and 40 minutes without the credits. It normally takes me about an extra 45 minutes to watch the movie because I make notes and I pause the movie.
Yep.
And, I'll get up and get a drink or whatever. It took me till 12:30 to finish watching the movie, and I was so excited that I stayed up to watch it. I would rate this a 5 because I enjoyed it so much.
Oh, so you would watch it after watching it?
I would.
Would you? You know what brings down the stock for me is Nicole Kidman.
Yeah.
She brings down the stock in her. Let me out of the car. that really dropped it for me. I mean, I would give it maybe. You know what? I'm kind of with Rotten Tomatoes and IMDb. I'm like right in between. I would say like a 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I would watch it if it was on
TV.
Yeah, but I wouldn't watch it right after.
Well, if it was on TV, and you know what? I don't understand. I don't know if on Amazon it was like just a theatrical cut or what, or if my dad had an extended version. But back in the day, my dad used, when we had
You had
VHS.
you had the Laserdisc edition.
No, 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 no. We weren't that advanced. No, whenever there was a movie, we had a VCR that had the number counter,
Uh-huh.
where it had the 000.
Right.
And whenever there was a free Showtime, HBO, Prism, if you remember Prism, was replaced by Stars, at least on Comcast where my parents lived. I think it was a local, Prism was like a local pay channel,
Oh
like
no, I didn't.
HBO or whatever.
I grew up in the projects, man. We didn't have cable.
Yeah. So, but do you remember those free weekends where where like you could like watch Star?
Oh
like,
yeah, yeah.
My dad would tape those, and on the outside of the VHS tape on the label, he would write down the start and the end of the counter.
Oh, I got you.
So
That's actually a very good idea on his part.
well, not anymore, but
No, I mean at the time.
yeah, at the time,
Really
yeah.
good idea to actually record the free weekends.
But he would get the what were they, the SLP tapes, the super long play tapes that were 6 or 8 hours.
Yeah.
So he could put 3 movies on that. So, and sometimes 4, depending on how long the movie was. But I don't know what it was, but he taped Days of Thunder, and I don't know if it was just the VCR was really slow at fast forwarding, but when the sex scene came on, was just like, let's kiss, more or less. I don't remember it being that short.
I don't remember. I didn't remember it at all.
Maybe it was just that my dad fast forwarded too far and then rewound, and boom, there it was again. Or, I don't know.
I think the scene in American Werewolf in London was better, even though they had awkward kissing. I think. It was
Oh, you mean in the shower?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would rate that better.
Yeah.
I'd rate the one in
Teen Wolf better.
Teen Wolf better. Yeah. I love the idea though in that sex scene in this movie in Days of Thunder. He like takes a blanket and he like folds it over like it's a military bed that he's making with her in it. Like you fold it back and crease it
Yeah,
like
you
in
gotta
Full
make sure
Metal
the
Jacket.
corners are right.
Yeah.
It's like a hotel tuck.
Nice. Yeah.
Hotel tuck. What else?
So,
What else we got?
I don't think we have much more.
I think that's about it, right?
I think that's it. Do we have anything going on in the community or on the brand pages?
Not that I can see. I mean, we've got some activity going on. What movie we're doing next week? You're excited for this movie too, and
dude, I'm excited for this movie too.
Well, this is a movie I've never seen, so I have a reason not to be excited. Well, I'm excited because you're excited.
Dude, I'm excited. I have this movie on DVD, and it's one of those subtle humor movies where you either like it or you don't like it. It's hilarious or it's dumb. But next week we're going to watch This Is Spinal Tap. So I'm so excited.
I'm excited. I'm excited because you've built it up in my mind. So
it's a good movie. I put the movie on a pedestal.
Yeah, you did. So I mean, which sometimes is a bad thing.
Nah.
So we'll see. I mean, we have kind of the same. We have kind of the same humor, so I'll probably like it.
I'll tell you what. It's a good movie. It's funny. It's a I mean, I don't want to get too much into it now, but it's a Christopher Guest movie. He did like Waiting for Guffman, A Mighty Wind, and his movies are very loose outlines, and he gets comedic actors and actresses in it. He also did Best in Show, and basically all of his movies are improv. So it's just people thinking on their feet and being really good at their craft.
Right, which is something we're not.
Well, it's because we need. You know what? And I say this every time, but
every time,
if you want to be a guest panelist, if you want to hear more than just Anthony and I talking, let us know. Brand pages, Facebook, Google+, the community, Twitter.
We have a lot of
You know,
outlets that are available to the community. That where you can contact us. Just
absolutely.
what G plus dot two backslash Crossing Streams with a
Hmm.
Z, always with a Z, guys. Um, Twitter at Crossing Streams, Facebook backslash Crossing Streams. You can search Crossing Streams on Google
I
Plus, and you'll find us as well.
Well, and iTunes, you can get
Oh yeah,
this
iTunes.
audio on iTunes, um, and you can watch the YouTube video if you really want to see what we look like. I don't want to see what I look
Yeah,
like.
I don't want to say it. It's bad enough I got to
I don't
look at
want to.
myself.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't want to look at myself on video. I'll tell you
yes,
what. At
exactly.
work, I had to record. I had to record someone's auto attendant yesterday, and I called him this morning. And I'm like, I get thrown off every time. I'm like, oh, I don't want to hear myself. Like, oh,
Yeah,
I'm like the voice of this bank now.
I,
Oh,
I hate hearing
ugh.
myself speak. Ugh. So on a good note though, we didn't really have a bad note, but
On a
we
better
we
note,
yeah, well, yeah, we reached a milestone. We posted it earlier this week, I think, or yesterday or the day before. We've reached over 100 downloads, so I'm happy about that. You happy about that?
yeah, yeah. It's nice, to see that
Yeah.
that this
Wow, you're
that this
too excited,
that
dude.
it's like Stephen Wright. I'm so excited. I can't wait to do more episodes of this show where we talk about crossing streams.
Crossing the stream.
No, it's yeah. I mean, we're over 100. We're almost actually at 100 for February too. We had
Yeah,
one day in
we're really
January
close. We're really
where
close.
we're on
I mean,
iTunes.
we're gonna hit. We're gonna pass 100 this month.
Oh yeah,
Well, I
yeah.
mean, just for this month period, we're gonna pass 100. So it's nice to know that we're not doing this for nothing. Even though, we actually started this with the intent. You know what? If nobody's listening, at least we're having a good time.
Yeah, it gives us an excuse to watch movies that we normally wouldn't watch. It's like I gotta do, like I want to go do something. I want to go out and do something, but I gotta watch a movie first.
That's right. And I can tell my fiance, wait, leave me alone. I have to watch Spinal Tap.
Exactly.
Stop bothering me.
I'll tell you what, though. I know it's a long ways away, but I am excited. I am excited for the possibility, because I'm going to Anthony's wedding. I'm excited for the possibility of maybe doing a live show from your place. Maybe we'll have some guests. Maybe we'll actually have some guests by then.
You know what? That could be a possibility because you're gonna be in town,
Yeah.
and
Like I said, I'm either staying at your place or I'm not coming.
that's right.
No, I'm sorry. What did I do? I phrased it as a question. So
Yeah,
can
you
I
said so. So am I staying at your place or am I staying at mine? Yeah, so that might be. Well, I mean, I think we have to do it.
Oh, I think so.
It's not something we wanted. Not saying we don't want to, but it's not one of those things you want to do. It's something you have to do.
Yeah, it's like
Like it has to be done. We're both going to be in the same place at the same time.
we're both going to be in the same house because,
Yeah.
you know.
Right. Yeah. I don't know. Well, we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Yeah,
The,
I
the,
think.
the house the house is going to be packed, I guess. So I don't know.
Well, that means we'll have guests.
That's right. We'll definitely have guests. The only bad thing is we can't watch the movie during the live stream.
Yeah,
You
well,
know?
yeah, well, we could watch it right before.
Yeah, we could watch it right before, and then we can. What do we have? Do we have any? You have a rock band mic or something? Because we could just walk around and ask people, "What do you think?" Oh no, I have the blue mic. It does the multi-directional, so the blue ball, not blue ball, snowball,
Snowball.
the snowball mic. It says blue on it, so it screwed me up. Speaking of blue balls,
Mhm.
yeah. So if you want to be a guest, or if you're a guest and you're great, and we have some chemistry, and you might be called upon to co-host with us as well.
Hmm.
So that's something. I mean, we would love to have co-hosts, so that there's not a bunch of dead air.
Well, and I think it gives a little bit more opinion. I mean, I can
Hmm.
I can talk all day long, and you can respond to what I ask you.
Hmm.
But if there's more people, there's more opinions.
Yeah, absolutely.
Um,
I think we need a female. What do you think?
yeah, that might not be a bad idea.
I think a female might be good.
You
Just so
know
that
anybody?
I know plenty of people. I know plenty of people. I mean, we have a lot of friends on Google Plus, so
Yeah.
see what happens. You
I
know
gotta.
anybody? I
No, I
think you
don't
got
know.
somebody like on tap over there.
I might. Maybe you do too.
No, I don't. She doesn't want to do all that. You know that.
I got a funny story to tell you later.
Oh man, that means we have to end the show.
Yep, that's it.
So let's end the show. Let's applaud the people for the passing the 100 downloads.
Woo.
Woohoo!
There's nobody over here.
Crossing Streams has been taped. What was it? Recorded live before a live studio audience.
Yeah, Crossing Streams have been taped because we're a bunch of knuckleheads that I don't know. We'll cut that part out later.
No, we won't. We'll keep it.
Yeah.
All right. So, well, you guys have a great night. We'll see you next week with Spinal Tap.
That's it.
That's about it.
Number 5 in the books.
Yep. And like we said, you can email us at crossingstreams@gmail.com, Twitter at Crossing Streams, Facebook /Crossing Streams. You can search for us.
Yeah.
Google Plus is G+.2 /Crossing Streams. Always with a Z. Don't forget the Z. And you can and please never miss a show. You can subscribe to the podcast on iTunes so that you can always know what's going on, what we're doing, and what movie we have next, and also listen to the podcast. Sean?
That's
anything?
what they would be doing on iTunes.
That's what they would be doing on iTunes.
No, that's it.
Yeah, don't
Yep.
don't,
Yep.
and please leave reviews. You know,
Comments.
Even if,
Yep.
even if you know you don't like us, even if you don't like us, even if you don't
Yeah.
like the show, let us know so we can do something. You know, we can get better. You know, criticism is always good, whether it's positive or negative. All right. So with that, we will bid you adieu. Sean, anything?
Out.
You good?
Turn it off. Turn it
All right.
off.
We're out of here. Have a good night, folks.